Back to school season is upon us, but we've got a list of games that you can play instead of doing that homework. Here are 10 of the biggest games releasing in September 2022. You know that oof feeling you get when playing a sequel and then returning to the first in the series? Well, you won't have that feeling anymore when going backwards in The Last of Us world. The Last of Us Part 1 is the same game we've all come to know and love, but rebuilt from the ground up for PS5 to help it reach the bar set by Part 2. It features updated and improved AI, a new permadeath mode, a speedrun mode, an updated photo mode, unlockable costumes for Joel and Ellie, and a model viewer. On the technical side, Part 1 can render in native 4K at a targeted 30 FPS or dynamic 4K at a targeted 60 FPS display mode. The added power of the PS5 means that the environments have denser physics with tons of bumpables and chippables that translate into gunfire ripping concrete and other objects apart more accurately. With more than 60 accessibility options, players can also expect an audio description mode that makes the title more approachable. And if ugly crying over the main story isn't enough for you, this also comes with the Left Behind DLC. You can pet those giraffes all over again in 4K this time when The Last of Us Part 1 releases for PS5 on September 2nd. In NBA 2K23, you control really tall humans that throw an orange ball at a bottomless basket attached to some glass. This year's edition of the game marks a host of changes to the gameplay and focuses on bringing balance back to the offensive game. New gesture combos such as double throws and switchbacks are meant to provide shooting windows in tight quarters. Double throw gestures are used for hop-step layups, while switchback gestures are used for Eurostep and cradle layups. The game's ball handling controls are also getting expanded on, with the full list of moving crossovers nearly doubling from last year's game from 15 to 28 options. But this year's changes aren't just about offensive play. On defense, shot blocking has been tuned to better reflect reality. You can add another game with Michael Jordan on the cover to your shelf when NBA 2K23 drops for all consoles and PC on September 9th. Splatoon 3 is a colorful, family-friendly shooter that puts you in the shoes of a squid kid to fight over turf. This third entry in the series introduces new Splatfests that will feature not 2 but 3 competing sides. First teams will take part in a standard turf war battle, but then they'll transfer to a special tri-color turf war with all 3 teams battling it out at once. All of the weapons from previous Splatoon games will be returning, along with a new bow and arrow like weapon called a Stinger, and a melee sword weapon with a charged slash called the Splatana. The game also features a new card collecting puzzle game mode called Table Turf Battle. This mode is described as a 1v1 battle where you can fill slots on a board with cards that show geometric shapes like Tetris pieces. The co-op mode Salmon Run is returning with a number of new large-scale bosses, and the game's new story mode promises an epic finale to the Splatoon saga. Take part in the color war when Splatoon 3 comes to Nintendo Switch on September 9th. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R is a 3D fighting game from CyberConnect 2, featuring over 30 characters and spanning all arcs from the long-running series. The game is a remaster of the 2013 PS3 game by nearly the same name. It's just that this one adds an R to the end. The game follows in the lineage of past anime fighters such as Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, giving players a wide arena in which to do battle while still focusing on combos, counters, and waiting for the right moment to strike. In addition to improved visuals, new audio recordings will also be used in-game, and the fighting mechanics have been adjusted, including the addition of hit stops and jump dashes. The fight begins on PC September 1st and console September 2nd. Steelrising is an action RPG that gives a look at the French Revolution through an alternate steampunk lens. In the game, you play as an automaton guard for Marie Antoinette, and you'll battle through an array of mechanized enemies roaming the streets of an alternate history Paris. Streets that are filled with secret passageways and grapple points that make exploration a joy. Take advantage of a wide variety of weapons and skills in order to define your own playstyle. Will you be a deadly dancer, a ruthless warrior, or a hard-hitting bodyguard? The choice is all yours, but be ready for Steelrising's enemies to test your patience and skill. You can take back Paris from a tyrant king when Steelrising releases for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on September 8th. Metal Hellsinger is a fast-paced, rhythm-based first-person shooter in which you blast your way through demon hordes to the beat of a badass metal soundtrack. It's everything you loved about Doom 2016, but unlike that game, timing your attacks with the music is key to your success. Not only does staying in sync help build a multiplier and your score, it also activates the song's lyrics and makes the song more intense. The soundtrack includes songs made specifically for the game and features talents of Matt Heafy of Trivium and Serge Tankian of System of a Down, just to name a few. And although he won't be singing in the game, you can also expect to hear narration from the one and only Troy Baker. Get ready to do some karaoke in hell, but not really, when Metal Hellsinger drops on September 15th for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Return to Monkey Island sees series creator Ron Gilbert back to write and direct, and continues the stories of the 1990s adventure games The Secret of Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2: LeChuck's Revenge. That means you should be prepared to reunite with series protagonist Guybrush Threepwood in a classic point-and-click style game with clever puzzles, context-sensitive interactions, reactive dialogue trees, and bizarre swashbuckling situations. You can return to this island of monkeys when the game drops on September 19th for Switch and PC. Powerful creatures have invaded the holy kingdom of Cadus, consuming and corrupting their enemies. Mankind's only hope are chimeras, hybrid warriors made of two joined souls. In Soulstice, you play as Briar and Lute, two sisters that have undergone the transformation and have been sent on a mission to reclaim the city from the Wraiths. The game features a diverse combat system that has you managing Briar's superhuman abilities as well as Lute's ghostly mythical powers simultaneously. You can explore the dark world of Soulstice this September 20th on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Serial Cleaners, the sequel to 2017's Serial Cleaner, is a top-down action stealth adventure where you play as the cleanup crew for the mob in 1999 New York. Inspired by movies like Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, and The Usual Suspects, you'll play through a non-linear story covering up crime scenes without getting caught. There are 4 characters to swap between, each with their own set of unique skills. Serial Cleaners features open world map design, and you'll need to use the environment to your advantage. But that shouldn't be too hard considering you have what the game calls Cleaner Sense, a boost in awareness to make better tactical decisions. You'll be mopping up blood and hiding bodies, virtually, when Serial Cleaners comes to every console and PC on September 22nd. The DioField Chronicle is an all-new tactics IP featuring several warring nations and a mix of anime-style 3D models and more realistic environments. The game's world mixes fantasy, medieval, and modern-day influences to tell a story that Square Enix has called compellingly deep. The gameplay includes real-time tactical battles and strategy-based combat that utilizes small squads. You can learn if the Blue Fox mercenaries are a symbol of hope or tragedy when the DioField Chronicle comes to PC and every console on September 22nd. So which of these games are you most interested in? And are there any you can't wait to play that didn't make the list? Let me know in the comments. You can follow me on Twitter at Devontae Chisholm, and make sure you're subscribed to GameSpot for more.